Hello and welcome to Footy Judgment. Listen, Liverpool disappoint today, or is it heroics from Man United? I actually have no idea. But listen, we're here to talk about it. Arsenal top of the table, silencing the critics. People said Arsenal will struggle against Brighton. I didn't see any struggle, to be honest. But Liverpool today, Darwin Núñez is a shit footballer that shouldn't be playing for Liverpool Football Club. I've been saying it for a year and a half now until people believe me now. Jurgen Klopp is not to blame. It's Mo Salah. It's Sabozlai, who's the best player since sliced bread. He's the Kevin De Bruyne equal, they told me. Sabozlai, giving the ball away. Ridiculous, to be honest. I don't know why what's his name? Van Dijk complaining after the game. But listen, we're here to talk about it. Here is the problem with what happened to Man United. That Erik ten Hag will stay in the job after this. Is it a problem? It's not a problem, but I'm here with the guys to talk about it. So hit that like button, people. If you just joined us, I'm here with a fantastic panel for you. Of course, Naji is here. Olu, Jerry looks absolutely upset for some reason. Giuseppe is here. Rack is smiling as always. And Michael Griggs to back Ten Hag. The boys are going to back Ten Hag today. Talk to me, people. Man United fans. What happened? You got it right. It's good.
Go for it, Mike, man.
Go first.
Bit bars, bro.
First thing I want to say is Anfield Hype. That's the first thing I'm going to say. All week they told me 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. They beating us 4-0, 5-0, 7-0. And according to Hassan, it was going to be 6-0 today. That's what I was expecting. They told me there's 7,000 extra seats. I saw that stand. It was empty. It was Casper the Ghost over there. Someone was invisible. There was no one there. The crowd was as quiet as a library. It's like I was at Queen's Library down the street from me, and I was reading a book in there, and it was so quiet. There was no noise in that first half. Second half, obviously, the game got more intense, so they rise. But the first half, when their team needed them the most, they were attacking the Kop end. That's meant to be their end, and it was quiet. Jurgen Klopp, of course, complaining after the game. Same old. Every time Klopp drops 3 points, all he does is complain. That's why I don't actually like him as a person, because what gives you the right to determine that a team should always attack you? Some teams have to play different to get the results. At the end, football is a results-based business. That's what the sport is. That's what sport is. In sport, your job is to win. And Man United, Erik ten Hag today thought the best chance for United to get anything out of this game was to play in a low block and hit him on the counter. That's what he thought his vision was, and he succeeded with that vision. Jurgen Klopp and Van Dijk, of course, complaining too. God forbid. As a captain, I think for me that's a disgrace. I hate when Spanish players do it too. I remember Rodri in the World Cup complained about it. Bro, who cares you have 70% possession? In that 70% possession, you had the same amount of big chances created as us. 34 shots. 16 of them came outside the box. Onana, I think, made maybe 2 to 3 saves that were like decent saves. The rest of them, they went right into his palms. He wasn't phased. He even said it. I was not phased throughout that whole game. Klopp, Arteta, for me, when we played Arsenal, laid the blueprint on how to play against Onana in these kind of games. He didn't impress Onana because he's like, Onana, he's kind of press resistant as a goalkeeper. He's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world with the ball at his feet. So he didn't press him. What did Klopp do? He pressed him, and Onana handled that press with ease. He kept clipping the ball to the fullbacks, passed it to his center backs. It was easy. Our defense today, that was by far the best defensive performance in the season, and also my favorite defensive performance under Ten Hag in the Big 6 away game. Every time we go away to a Big 6 opponent, we pretty much get slapped up. But today, Rafael Varane, his first Premier League start, I think in about a month, he had 20 defensive actions in the whole game. Ridiculous. Diogo Dalot, incredible. He shouldn't have gotten sent off, but that's another discussion for another day. But today, Luis Diaz on that side, it was easy for him. Johnny Evans, who's like 50 years old, the guy had to take the craziest ice bath probably after the game. He had cramps probably the whole game with how much he had to run. Handled like a professional. Luke Shaw, who last year, that 7-0 was the worst player on the pitch last year. Pretty much every goal came down his side. He took the task today with a mission, and he locked up Mohamed Salah. The midfield, Kobbie Mainoo, I've been telling people about this guy. Liverpool fans told me during the week that they don't know who he is. Well, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. The kid went into that midfield, and your 60 mil Dominic Esbozo, whatever you want to call him, he didn't do nothing today. 60 minutes, hooked. Wataru Endo was decent. What's the other midfield? Ryan Gravenberch had a decent game, but went toe-to-toe with him. And then the attack, Darwin Núñez stinks. Luis Diaz, I even saw Anthony lock him up. 1v1 duel. It was Luis Diaz versus Anthony. And Anthony treated him like nothing. Easy. Lockdown. Even Trent got cooked by Anthony. I saw Anthony cook Trent with his right foot. Anthony doesn't have a right foot. It doesn't work. But it worked.
What about Alisson? I mean, you've gone through the whole team. What about Alisson?
Alisson had one shade to make and he made it. So I can't really criticize him. Liverpool's defense was good, but We got close today. Man United went on a mission, and we could even won that game, in my opinion. If we had better attackers in the final third, any brains do anything in the final third. If any team had any IQ in the final third, if Garnacho knew how to take a touch, that Kobbie Mainoo pass to Garnacho did not count as a chance because he didn't get a shot off. But that was probably the biggest chance. If you really think about it, because Garnacho would have been 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Trent did well to recover, but Garnacho should be getting that shot off. We had the good chances. So I think there's something. Obviously, I'm happy with the draw because I didn't expect to win today. I didn't expect to get a point today. I didn't expect that, but we got the point. But there's some United fans that are even saying we could have gotten more. And no one would have predicted that throughout the week. I'm pretty sure everyone here probably predicted Liverpool to win. At the very worst, I don't know about Neji. Maybe he
including you. Exactly. The question is you, though. Did you predict your team to get a draw?
I predicted a draw. I predicted a draw. I said
you did. Yeah. That's
recorded. I don't predict my team.
Hold on. It's recorded, Griggs. I can go get the tapes.
I don't know if I made it. You just said you didn't expect Liverpool to win. You didn't expect United to win. I
didn't predict them to win. Yeah, when I'm not confident in United, I predict a draw.
Actually, Olo, get down there.
I don't predict losses.
Mike is cooking, bro. He's cooking, bro.
I predict draw.
Cooking, bro. Like
in my heart, my head was still Liverpool going to win, obviously, but my heart said a draw. That's pretty much where it was at.
So logically speaking, you still thought Liverpool would win.
Yeah, obviously.
That was your prediction.
My heart thought that we could get a draw. That's what my heart told me.
Did you predict with your heart or your head?
My heart.
There you go. So his prediction was 1-1. Cool.
I predict with my heart.
Do you always go with your heart? Do you always go with your heart? Just Man United. So just Man United.
No,
not Man United. Just in general, in life. Tell us about life.
Life, I typically go with my head, but when it comes to Man United, I go with my heart.
So I must be the only person here who probably predicted Man United would win, which is strange. But I can talk about that later because I'd love to obviously hear.
Done.
I'll let you guys go first, and I'll explain why. After.
Listen, you cannot sit here. Hold on. You cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me you predicted Man United to win.
Okay, I predicted it. I'll tell you the reason why.
You cannot.
Was it with your head or your heart?
Maybe you were gambling. Maybe you were betting on something and you wanted them to win. But you cannot sit here with a straight face and tell me that Man United win to this game favorites.
No, it's not about favorites.
Predicting somebody to win, that means in your books they are favorites. That's what it means. Yeah, okay. By the way.
Okay.
So you think Man United win to this game favorites?
I'll explain my logic. The reason why is because, right, for example,
you still have a logic in it. You're still defending.
Let me explain. I can be right or wrong. Just listen to my point.
You're wrong.
You're supposed to be a judge, not a solicitor, man. What's wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're trying to corner the guy.
I am trying to corner him because he's going to sit here after the game and tell me that he predicted Man United to win, and he's going to try to give me like all this monologue. Go ahead. Oh, it's a free space. It's a free space. Go ahead.
I will give you a monologue.
The thing is down.
The reason why I predicted Man United could win, I won't say would win, was because all the talk beforehand was everything that happened before, right? And there's this idea that because they'd be beaten 7-0 before, which again, a lot of people took out the logic from last year, and they actually realized it was a 45-minute performance from Liverpool, really, as opposed to a 90-minute performance last year, right? What really transpired happened in a crazy 45 minutes, which in reality, you play that game again, probably would never happen. Everything just went against Man United that match, right? And I think that sometimes with United, you almost seem to thrive recently on negativity. It's like when the chips are all the way down is when Man United bring the best performances. And I remember when Man United played Man City, and the idea was that Man City were going to smack them because it was the game before they would win the title, and Man United won 1-2-0. And no one predicted it. No one expected it. And so sometimes with United, it's always when the chips are down, when they look like they've reached rock bottom is when they make the best performances, which is why I just thought there was going to be a weird feeling that United would win. And before one more thing, I want to give a massive shout out to McTominay. And the reason why I'm going to give a massive shout out to McTominay is because just listen again, Mo. Just listen. And Greeks actually alluded to it before.
Back and listen. So
Give me a second. So he was obviously made captain, right? And one thing that he chose to do, because he wanted to coin toss, was actually to make United kick towards the cup, right, in the first half, as opposed to the second half. So most times, Liverpool normally kick towards the cup in the second half. But actually, when you look at the first half, Liverpool kicked towards the cup. So you saw the best performance from Liverpool in the first half when they were kicking towards the Kop. And also, when you look at it logically, actually away fans sit on the other side. So logically, he should have made the team kick towards his own fans in the second half, but he chose to do the reverse. And I remember the commentator actually said, he changed sides purposely. Now, I don't know whether it was his choice or they pre-planned it, but you saw the air was sucked out once Liverpool didn't score. That actually became very flat. So, again, I must say he played well in the game, but if he, in that moment, decided actually, rather than us kicking towards the Kop and letting Liverpool kick towards the Kop in the second half, we let them do it in the first half, and if we can ride that storm, we can grow into the game, then you have to give a massive shout out to him. The way he plays is different.
For winning a coin toss.
For winning a coin toss. No, for making the choice.
Listen to me. That's what matters.
The vast almost every away team, if they win the toss, they get us to play against the Kop first half because they know we like to play against the Kop in the second half.
No, we hear that.
I don't think so.
I think respectfully, I got you, bro. I think you're being disingenuous because I think the factual point is when it's a derby, it's a rival game, and the fans are going to be up for a United game all day, and United there for the taking. The fact what he's actually saying is that he allowed the pressure to apply to United, ride out the pressure, which we did quieten it down the crowd respectfully. Then again, that's just a very objective view on the game.
That's just a simple. That's a simple. Like, if you play football, that's just a simple thing that everyone does, isn't it? Like, if you're playing, respectfully. No. But hold on. It's not simplifying it. It's saying that we're not gonna praise McTominay for making a decision that let's be real. That's a decision that would have been made by the club. If we win, every club does it. Barcelona even spoke about it with their thing. They made a decision beforehand.
More than real.
You're forced into
can we get past the coin toss? Are we going to be able to
That's my point. That's my point.
I'm saying to you, what did I say? I said to you, it's your fault. Wait.
So hold on. Do you think that Bruno would have made a different decision if he was captain?
I don't know. Guys, stop.
Yeah.
The decision isn't made by the player.
I know. That's what I said. That's why
Jerry knows that. Jerry knows that. I know that. And I know that. Naji, you coached before. Some of these logical decisions aren't made on the spot by the player. It's made beforehand.
Before games,
the player is told when you win the coin toss, you choose this. It's simple. We know that.
I have one question.
For Olo to give me a monologue, about I'm sorry, for Olo to come here and give me a monologue about how McTominay is great because he chose that side. Hold on. And then when it comes to the football, he said, hold on, unquote. When it comes to the football, he said, and about the football, that's a different story.
Literally, he said that. I have a hypothetical question. One hypothetical question. Okay, we've got Mo. You're more Inter fan, and I think my guy to that side, you're Arsenal fan, right?
Fans,
yeah. If you were coming to play at Anfield and you were the captain of the away team, you won the toss. Would you choose for Liverpool to play against the Kop in the second half or first half?
First half.
But okay,
it's just like there's only one decision. If you win the toss, that's the only decision, right? So it's not exactly a masterstroke. Whether it be for the club or whether it be for the player, it's like it is what it is.
It's mad how they think Arsenal is the same thing as a rival between United.
Can I just
we're talking big derby, big rivalry.
One second.
Different pressures on it, and you're trying to simplify. This is how you know you man are like struggling.
No, but okay. But Nagy. No, but Nagy. Say if you were the no, don't go away. If you were the captain, you play football, right? If you were the captain of just say any team, Chelsea, Southampton, whatever, you're coming to Anfield and you win the toss. You know which way you're going to want Liverpool to play first half, right?
You know what's crazy?
It just doesn't make sense to do anything else.
Okay, well, let me make it make sense for you. Unless Mo's going to start screaming like solicitors levels. It's simple. We're talking, right? We're talking about the specific nature of Man United versus Liverpool. So all this talk about other teams is irrelevant to me personally, especially in this moment. So what my brother is saying right now, given the situation Man United are in, given the situation that it's a big rivalry, biggest game of our season, respectfully, in my opinion, because it's a massive rivalry. The fact that Liverpool are in a title race at the moment and doing well, the fact that you're at home, the fact that you're there to take not only just beat Man United, but slap us up silly, and that's the expectation. The pressures are different. That's going to feed into your team, whether you like it or not. That's going to feed into your fans, whether you like it or not. So what he's trying to say, and again, I'm not saying it's McTominay because I'm not on board with that. I'm with Mo. I think it's a genuine team decision. But what he's trying to identify is simply just to say we rode the wave of the emotion of the Kop as well, given the situation, and he's giving credit to that. I don't think it was
I agree. I agree with that.
That's what
I agree with that.
Let me clarify one more thing. Well, before we go, one more thing. Let me just clarify what I'm saying. The reason I'm saying is this, right?
You're sticking more on the Man United Liverpool than your team.
Let me just say what I'm saying very quickly. Let me just say what I'm saying. I'm just saying, was this McTominay's first time of captaining Man United?
No.
Oh, but how many times is it second time, right?
Yeah. It doesn't.
And wait. So this is a massive game. This is Liverpool Man United. It's very easy for him to. And we know he's not the sharpest tool in the box. He could have just said, actually, just go with whoever. And the point I was trying to make about the whole thing was that most teams will probably want to kick towards their fans in the second half. And I believe that the away fans actually sit opposite to the Kop, right? So it's the other side to the Kop.
They do, yeah.
So illogically, you'd say second half, let's kick towards our players because actually maybe the noise can drive us towards them, right? So I did preface that I said it could have been the choice of the club, or I said if he made that choice, then I give him credit. So you guys again missed that. You're making that like I said, or he made the decision by himself. I said if he made that choice, then I give him credit. But if it was predetermined, then also it was very smart by them to say, let's ride the lock, let's ride the wave of noise that Liverpool that feeds off in the second half, usually in games, and let's put that to the first half. And if we can get through that, then in the second half we can try to take control of the game. So again, you guys didn't listen to me. You just wanted to hear what you wanted to hear and run with it. I rest my case.
Respectfully, though, as a United fan, I'm not going to sit here and start talking about the flipping fans and which way we chose to go. Do you know what I mean? I'm with Michael right now. Like, that's probably like the last thing I'd bring up. That's like a little cherry on the top. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I didn't expect us to win, but I had us down as a 1-1. And the way I saw the game panning out was we were going to be on mad on defense, and I felt like we would score a goal from either a mad counter-attack or like a penalty or something. That's the only way I could see a goal. Like one of them, just take your chance and you get it. But I also thought Liverpool would score because I thought they would be rallying our box. So I predicted a draw. That was with my heart and my head. What I wanted was a win. Just even random win. I take a Scotty win. I don't care. But I didn't get that. I got the point against Anfield. And given the fact that we struggled against the top six away for the longest, and I think Michael was saying, we've conceded quite a lot. To me, that was one of the best performances I've seen, and the reason I say that as well, that confirms it, because Liverpool fans were frustrated and they were frustrated with football for footballing reasons. They were like, we could have done this more, we could have done this more. And sometimes when you sit there and you start talking like that, it's because the other team actually gave you a game that you didn't expect. And I have to respect that as a neutral. And I thought United did the best they could with what they had. I thought Ten Hag got it well, did it right to go and grab the point. And yeah, we could have nicked a goal. I don't think we deserved to win it based on performance. But in terms, because defensive performance don't really win you games, in my opinion. I think you got to have everything. But overall, could we have nicked it with that Højlund chance and then maintain that defense what we had? Maybe we get a 1-0 win. You're thinking, raw, Jose Mourinho 2016 masterclass. That's what you would have been looking at one of those games, and you would have been vexed because you think we've had all the possession, we've had all the attacks. You just sat back, parked the bus, and then boom, scored your goal. Do you know what I mean? And that's to me what we could have walked away with. But for me, the performance, how he set up, what he planned to do, he got that right, and that showed the first time for me that Ten Hag can adapt. Did he adapt because of the profiles he had in midfield? No, Bruno? Maybe. Don't know. It's a question. It's hypothetical. However, he adapted. It worked for him. He's now got to take that and go, I don't need to be as stubborn with my tactics if it doesn't work for me. I can go it easily, at least take a point away from home, go and get my wins where I can get them, and still have faith that I can revert back to what I'm doing once these players have got more confidence moving forward. And I'm sure the Liverpool fans are going to get onto it a little bit later, but the red card situation for me, I'm thinking, I'm just after. I've said to you many times, Mo, on your streams, the consistency is where it's at for me. If you're sending Dalot off for that, then I'm sorry, Nunes should have been off, respectfully, because Nunes has gone with the challenge, got a yellow card. Not only that, after that yellow card, so that's the first defence, the yellow card, I thought, yeah, fair play, it's not a red. Wasn't a red. A lot of Man United fans said he should have been sent off. No, it's a yellow. It's 50-50, it happens. Like, a bit of bargy, it is what it is. 50-50, cool. Yellow card, gets his yellow. After that, he's running his gums and he's clapping for about 30 seconds, no yellow card. Just before that, Mo Salah, foul goes against him, kicks the ball away, goes and runs and grabs it back, still mouthing off, no yellow card. So you tell me the two incidences for Dalot in a 94th minute, you tell me the two separate incidences where you go, yeah, yellow card. And I told you about this, Mo, before, whether you like it or not, there are inconsistencies this season, last season, that are hindering this team. And it doesn't come to the players, it doesn't come down to the manager. There are certain factors in football, whether you like it or not, you have to bring all relevant factors, keyword is relevant factors that go into your results to the table when you're assessing what's going on. And right now, I'm getting pissed with what's going on with United because no one wants to talk about it until it's their club. They don't want to talk about it. It's absolutely ridiculous. The inconsistencies against that club this season is ridiculous. Why do you think we've got so much ammo? The amount of ammo we've got, we're saying, okay, well, if this decision was made here, no problem. We say, okay, no problem. United fans go, okay, no problem. If that's the rule, why was it not the rule here then? Those are the questions we're asking. No one wants the answers. These officials are bums. Absolute bums. And I've said that for the longest. Until these guys are mic'd up and held accountable in the moment with big screens playing, I don't want to hear about VAR this, VAR that. Make these officials accountable on the spot. So when they come off, they have to come off and do press conference. Go, why did you make that decision?
Yeah. Do you know?
Arteta was right.
I tweeted something. And it's it has. I don't think it's against Man United or anything. I just think that some of these referees need really mental strength training. He got into his feelings. He didn't like what Dalot told him, and because Dalot. And I'm being honest here, right?
He's a PCSO, bro.
Because
Michael Oliver is supposed to be the. Go on.
Yeah, let me. I know he's supposed to. In my opinion, because it's because Dalot isn't Mo Salah, because Dalot isn't a big name player, and because Dalot is playing away, right? He got into his feeling. He's like, "How do you dare to disrespect me like this?" Well, right before that, Darwin Núñez, after getting the yellow card, clapped to the linesman and to the referee, and we know that. All our life, when you clap to the referee in sarcasm, you got a yellow card. That's it. But to be honest with you,
just the other week as well, Bruno had to pull him out.
And also Haaland, because Haaland's a big name. When Haaland was screaming at referees, the referee didn't get into his feelings. The referee didn't say, "How dare you talk to me like that?" Haaland didn't say a bad word, and I'm sure Dalot didn't say a bad word. Dalot just showed a disappointment, right? That's my point, right? That's the reason. In my opinion, that was a terrible decision. They have to talk about it. I think they can't reverse it because it's 2 yellows. But I want to stick to the game. And I want to get the Liverpool guys to talk about the game. I actually disagree with anyone that says that Man United were good in this game. I actually think that Man United were dire, but Liverpool were actually worse. Man United couldn't connect passes together. They had a plan, which is defensively you were compact and everything. So you had one part of the plan was good, which is being compact. But you still allowed a lot of chances, especially from set pieces.
Mo, can I just say before you switch over just quickly, this is the kind of thing I was talking about Bruno when I talk about pros and cons to a player. I've got no problem dropping players, right? But the defensive work that we did today, we've all seen that Bruno's defensive ability is incredible. But when we went forward and we had the opportunities to break after we did,
you wanted Bruno instead of McTominay.
So yeah.
That's it. By the way, it's a simple thing that nobody wanted to talk about. You have Bruno today in terms of McTominay, you create more chances.
Well, even Amrabat to McTominay, when we were trying to release and break, we couldn't even make the 5-yard pass to get into the final third, or we would go down. It's like, what's the point? And this is what I'm trying to say. There are pros and cons to players' games. I've got no issue dropping Bruno. But you have to understand the seriousness and the scenarios that happen when you make decisions. Every player's got deficiencies, no problem. Talk about them. When you talk about their entire game and what they bring, if there's more pros and cons and you can't change them, then let's stop bashing these players to a level just because we don't like a couple of aspects of their game.
Amrabat was nervous for some reason I don't know about.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I have no idea because he was more calm against Bayern Munich than this game, which doesn't make any sense. Because I thought Man United players shouldn't have a lot of pressure against them in this game, like the Bayern Munich. Because you're going to the game knowing that you'll lose the game, which is what everybody in the media told you. Everybody in the media told these players, you'll lose this game, you'll get humiliated. So there's not a lot of pressure, in my opinion. Listen, there's 300 people here, guys. Can we get the likes up a little bit? I'm going to give the Liverpool guys now a chance to talk about... The question is, did Klopp get it wrong or is it on the player? Because you created chances. You had a lot of set pieces. You had You broke this Man United defense. That Trent around the 18, Szoboszlai broke the press couple of times from Man United and actually went and had a chance to shoot. Is it on the players or is it Jurgen Klopp today? But before you do that, let me just welcome the people that joined from This Is Football, from Osam Stream, guys. Hit that like button if you just joined us. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're talking about Liverpool. I'm asking Rack and Jerry, is it Jurgen Klopp or is it the players' fault? Jerry, go ahead, Jerry, because I know that you're going to go. I know where you're going.
All right. I would say, it's got to be both at the very least. Like, Jurgen Klopp is the manager, and he has to take part of the blame because you're the manager. That's the manager's job, right? When Ten Hag was getting all this grief and getting all these shit results and stuff, Ten Hag has had to take it as well. So it's not just one rule for one and one rule for the other. Jurgen Klopp has to take a portion of the blame. United have been very poor this season. I think all my United friends here can agree to that. And we, in general, have been... I don't think we've been as good as some people have said, but I think in general we've been much better than United, and we should have. Everyone was expecting us to get the points today for good reason because we have been much better than them. But United came with a game plan, and we couldn't counteract that. And look, in terms of players, some players are more culpable than others. I know what you said about Núñez. I
shouldn't be a Premier League.
No. So I struggle to see what he's offering right now because unless people talk about he causes chaos and all that kind of stuff, but that's not really a game plan. And I don't like his performance.
What does he have? Like whoever
you know what it is.
As a kid, I don't know. Like he's quick. Okay, no, he's quick. I can get 50 kids that are quicker than him. That's fine.
Does he have the thing? He has some physical attributes. That's the thing. He has some physical attributes that are desirable, right? That are good, but ultimately it leaves us lacking in build-up play. We don't get anything from him. We've been over the last 7 or 8 years. We're used to having Bobby Firmino playing that role. And the one thing you can guarantee is even if he's not getting goals, he's always involved. He's always showing for the ball. He's always playing good passes. He's always playmaking to some extent. We don't really get any of that with Núñez. And even when he does come short, it just looks a little bit laboured and a little bit robotic. And I would have much rather started with Gakpo. And last season, when we looked our best, even though last season was poor, when we looked our best last season in attack, it was when Gakpo was playing that false 9 role. And look, as for United, they came with a game plan. They got their game plan right. They certainly came not to lose, and also within that is if they can nick a goal, even better. And they achieved that goal. And so for that, I understand Virgil and these guys. They're all annoyed. I understand if you're a professional sportsman, you get annoyed when you don't get the result you want. So people say stuff. It is what it is. But they came with a game plan, and we couldn't break them down, and it's all on us. So Dalot should. I've never in my life seen a situation where in one incident a player gets 2 yellow cards, even if they were like
when you say
2.
Something,
I've never seen it.
Seen it. Okay, so I have seen it. So in the commentators here, I'm not sure who you guys have. John Champion. We had John Champion here, right? And Lee Dixon. And they were saying that I'm hearing the VARs asking the referee, why did you send them off? Why did he send them off? And the explanation that they're hearing is that he complained twice. And it's not something he said. Like, when you say something, you get a record. Like, if you insult the referee, the new rule is like you get a record. It's just because he showed disappointment twice. Like,
and that's what I mean. I've never seen that. I've never seen that before in the same incident.
I have seen a player get a red card for something they say. But I've never seen a player to just show disappointment about the same decision twice. You get 2 yellow cards. That's absolutely horrific, to be honest. But anyway.
What's Mark Oliver doing refereeing the NBA? Because I know the NBA you can't show emotion, but maybe he was doing the NBA yesterday, and then today he did.
I don't know if you saw the yellow card Mainoo got. By the way, I thought it was yellow because he didn't win the ball, but there was a 50-50. It was one of them old school 50-50s that we haven't seen in a rivalry for a while, yeah. And the man who got the yellow card, because by today's law, you can't do
Marcus
that.
Rashford got a yellow card that shouldn't be even a foul. He didn't raise his leg up.
No. But what, I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about the emotion of the game. Has the emotion out of the game gone because we're so robotic? Because part of the beautiful game, boys, yes, Ronaldinho was doing the flicks, tricks, whatever. It was beautiful. It was intelligent. It was individualized. But part of those 50-50s made our rivalries. And the Liverpool fans, United fans, them 50-50s got the fans going. It was nice. I saw that 50-50 go in. I thought, oh, fair game. My man got a yellow card. And I thought, a couple of years ago, that would have been get up. They both shake hands. Yeah, cool, fair play, chance. We're battling. It is what it is. And when I saw the yellow card, I was like, nah, the game's gone, man. And now I'm seeing all that you can't even show any level of emotion. It's like literally, football's like, I don't know. For me, football's not as enjoyable as it used to be. It's too robotic. It's too systematic. Players got no flair, got no energy, got no confidence. It's you do the manager's thing or you're gonna get dropped. It's the passion, the energy's gone, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just as an observation, it's just sad to see such things happen to Dalot like that, man. You shouldn't get to that. That's ridiculous. 94th minute, though. That's a conversation.
Yeah. Jerry, you haven't said a word about Liverpool. Tell me.
I've been telling people, man, Liverpool have been poor. The performance have been poor for a while, and they have been this season. If you look from the beginning of the season, me and a few others, the minority, have said we haven't been good enough. The performance haven't been great. Mo, when you asked me on the show on midday views or the overviews when we spoke about our Liverpool title challenges, I said to you, I don't think so because I don't feel confident in what Liverpool have provided. I know what it takes to win a league. We've done it before and we haven't hit those heights. We've just had a result now that's matched the performance. That's it. I was at Palace, same thing. It was the same thing. Palace were actually better. They had a better performance than United. We should have conceded a couple in that game, in my opinion. If we're being honest, when you asked about who's culpable, is it Klopp or is it the players? It's a bit of both. The players have just been poor. All of our forwards seem to be out of form at the same time. Salah looks a shadow of himself in comparison to the beginning of the season, in my opinion. Núñez started off the season with a bang, especially when he's starting off the bench. But echoing what Ram's saying and what Mo's saying, and I haven't been the biggest fan of him. What he done today was criminal for me, unforgivable. On a break, the ball's inside the box, it's rolling, and to stop and call for a pen, that's like what my under sevens used to do.
There was one incident, sorry to interject, where literally Diego Dalot, because he knows that Darwin Núñez doesn't have any danger, left Darwin Núñez standing on the ball for 20 seconds and went to mark the other guy. That's how bad he is on the opposition's eyes. Diego Dalot looked at him standing on the ball, looked at him, and went to mark the other guy, waiting for support because he knows that Darwin Núñez was like, look, clueless. Do I pass? Do I shoot? Do I run with the ball? What do I do? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? It was nuts, to be honest. And that's the Darwin Núñez I was telling people about. The guy doesn't have the basic footballing ability to play for Liverpool Football Club.
No,
with all due respect, maybe for bottom half, it's not minerals. I'm talking about, when you pick a young player, Jerry, you coach.
Yeah.
You need to be able to pass the ball with the right weight. At least at the age of 12 or the age of 13, if the kid doesn't know how to pass the ball with the right weight, when he sees a player eye to eye, you're not going to be a football player. If you cannot drive with the ball 50 yards without falling on your face, you shouldn't be a football player. The guy doesn't know how to do the basic things. If you don't know how to receive a ball and to put it in the right way, let alone be a professional football player for Liverpool Football Club. This is completely different.
Yeah, no, it's mad. But look, I've spoken about him before, and it's just like I'm saying, it is what it is. He's just that guy, innit? He's just Núñez. The fans want to chant him when he works hard, when he does all that stuff. So I'm not going to entertain that. But for me, look, the players haven't been performing well enough. And I think when I look back at Liverpool's performances, they've always cultivated, or they've always been kind of highlighted by individual performances. So earlier in the season, Szoboszlai was performing out of his skin, was doing everything. We played with 10 men against Bournemouth. He went into the DM role. He looked like the best thing since last bread, as you said, Mo, as you said earlier. He was everything. As soon as he drops off, Liverpool needs someone else to come to the fore. Who has it been since the international break? It's been Trent, right? Trent's done everything now. He's scoring free kicks. He's scoring equalisers against United. As soon as that falls off, that's a problem. What have we had in recent weeks as well? Stale gameplay, boring patterns. The games have been boring.
I said you've been scraping wings and people criticize my titles and the shows.
Yeah, I know, but look, Klopp's benefited from, and I don't think he's made any.
You have been consistent, Jerry. You've been very harsh. You have been consistent.
No, but I think what's been consistent more than anything, it's just been a mentality. A mentality's been consistent. It means that when Klopp's made a change, subs have made an impact, and of course, you hope subs make an impact. But he's relied on that a lot. In the Crystal Palace game, Gomez coming on and Elliott coming on made a massive difference. Elliott's the one that scored the goal. We attacked down the right-hand side. In previous games, it was Nunes against Newcastle. Nunes comes on, scores a goal. Gakpo's come on as a sub, scored a goal. And I don't feel we've been as dominant as some people want to make it out to be, in my opinion. Yes, we've been consistent in terms of results, but I don't think there's performances.
There is no game, Jerry, and I sat here and I said I challenge anybody, apart from the Newcastle game, to give me one game where Liverpool won that they should have lost. One game. Give me one game, apart from the Newcastle game, that you won, that you should have won, that you should have lost, and you won.
I mean, the Palace game, we went in the game.
Have lost the game, but you shouldn't have lost the game. You weren't the worst team on the pitch.
The
penalty was scored 2 minutes later.
At the point the player got sent off, they were 1-0 up.
Yeah, and it looked as though
you
I was sitting with the fans. It looked as though we were like, we are going to lose this game. Like this game, we are going to lose this game. We were watching that game. We were in the stand saying we are going to lose that game. That red card happened, and we said, oh, okay, Liverpool are going to win this now.
No, right.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, for me, the way I put it, right, is I understand that the
you missed sitters in that game. In that game, you missed sitters against Palace.
Yeah,
we didn't create anything. No, we didn't. We didn't create anything until the red card.
Until the red card, maybe I'm confused because I remember.
Look, even in the stands, when we were watching that game, I'm not talking about the game too much. That challenge on Endo that led to the Van Dijk getting the yellow card for the foul inside the box, which was the first penalty appeal. Everyone in the stands thought that was a fair challenge because no one saw it. No one saw it on VAR. No one saw the second replay.
Can I ask you, man, a question? Liverpool fans. So based on a football perspective, so not Man United. Take my bias away because I love football. It's just football talk in general. When you bought Kobbie Mainoo, as a United fan, I laughed, and then as a football fan, I laughed because I looked at my man and said, "My man ain't bagging you goals. You can't bag goals." I was so glad we didn't get him, etc., etc. Then I saw method to the madness and go, "Raw." Klopp's got a style and system going raw. He enables you in that 9 role for your wingers to dominate off the press, everything else. He's actually a TikToker. Like, he's mad. Wow. He makes things happen. He's the piece to the center watch that makes everything tick around. Crazy. And I thought, Mama don't need to bag goals. You've now gone and switched to a different profile. Now, again, Louis, yes, I understand Mane left. I understand he was a big presser and had abilities. But Diaz, profile-wise, can still do what Mane did, in my opinion. However, I don't believe Nunes can do what Firmino did for Klopp. And I still feel like he's playing or trying to play off the same philosophy. Is that an issue?
Look, it is an issue if you're trying to play the same way. I don't think Klopp is trying to play the exact same way. But
from the same okay, I can't
we go much
not playing
more
the
direct.
same way, but the foundation of how he's playing the high pressing, the work rate, all of that seems to still be there, valid.
I think look, the elements for Klopp are always going to be high pressing. There are certain elements to his game that are just like he's just going to go and do. But we do play differently. My worry is that Nunes just isn't good enough. Do you know what I mean? If we had a better style or better number 9 in that style, like if we had Cavani in his pomp, like people wanted to compare.
Yeah.
It's a different. You're getting a different level of quality there. So look, it's not necessarily that. I just think that in games, I don't think we control games as well as we can do and as well as we have done. Hence why teams are always have a chance against us. And in recent games, we've always relied on Alisson. Alisson saved us against Crystal Palace. Alisson saved us against Man City, even though he had a terrible game. Alisson's been ridiculous for us. Take out Alisson, which we did for a couple of games. Kelleher came in. The chances that we were conceded just ended up in goals.
So can I ask a question? Can I ask a question on that to Liverpool fans as well?
Can you, before you ask the question, can you put the question, save it? I need to do these super chats, a couple of them.
Oh, sure.
Queen Nadra saying, Mo, how was Simicast's performance today? I thought it was all right. but he left some spaces, and it's not up to him. Jurgen Klopp told him to go hold the line up there and assume that Van Dijk will be dealing with Anthony, and Anthony had joy, but Anthony's a bozo. To be honest, he's a guys. He had so much space sometimes that I couldn't believe that a football player can make that bad of a decision with that much space. Like sometimes I look at these guys and I'm like, how did you get to wear red for Manchester United? Like, how?
I ask myself that same question every day.
Like today, he had so much. Tsimikas was flying, and the ball would be played behind Tsimikas, and Van Dijk would impress him, and the guy would make the wrong decision. And he would look at Dalot and like, why did you do overlap? What, you're an idiot? And he would look at Højlund and say, you made the wrong run. You are the idiot who can't pass the ball. You are
everything I appreciate about Anthony is off the ball. Everything on the ball, get him out.
Yes,
actually makes me feel like I could have made it if I didn't have a knee injury.
We still got hope. We still got hope.
And Hamza's 3 saying, big up more opinion on Szoboszlai and Salah today. Listen, Szoboszlai today, in my opinion, and I always assess players based on how you talk about them and how we like the way I assess Kevin De Bruyne is different than the way that I assess Calvert-Lewin. Based on Szoboszlai and what he offered in the beginning of the season, he was the worst player on the pitch today. Because for me, Nunes, I know what I'm expecting. I know that Nunes is a bozo. I know that Nunes shouldn't be playing for Liverpool. But Szoboszlai today just pissing the ball away without pressure, unforced errors 3-4 times, and putting the wrong weight on the pass when Mo Salah was wide open or Diaz was wide open is unforgivable in my opinion. Andrew here is saying everyone didn't turn up today apart from Trent, best in defense and attack. Trent was ridiculous today. Front 3 not clicking. Gakpo is rubbish. Right? Fucking start Gakpo and then talk about it, but you start Nunes and then you get Gakpo, and Man United are already galvanized. Man United believe that we can get something out of this game. And to be honest, just put Gakpo in the beginning. Omar Rushdie is saying same can be told about any team. No one is consistent. No one was consistent. Yes, I agree with you.
That's true. But I'm talking about Liverpool. So when we're talking about, the levels that we know that Liverpool have to reach to win the league, or what we've needed previously,
you don't have to.
You're nowhere near that.
You don't.
No, and you're saying we don't have to, which is fair.
Because the others aren't great.
Yeah, the others aren't great, but our performances have been poor, but the results have been good. So you can't say anything if you're getting the results. At the end of the day, the results matter. Yeah. But as soon as the results follow up with a poor performance, then you have to analyze that. Because if we're playing,
let me do this last one, and then we'll go.
I wouldn't be having this energy to be.
Do you think it's time for Mo Salah to Sawari? He isn't as lethal as he used to be. 11 goals, 7 assists. You cannot tell me he's not lethal. Him in the Crystal Palace game still got the goal, even though it was a deflection, and got an assist. You cannot tell me that isn't lethal. Mohamed Salah at his worst still get you a goal or assist. The problem is the cast around him aren't helping him. The likes of Darwin Núñez isn't helping him. Diaz isn't helping him. Trent now is completely away from Mohamed Salah. If people don't see that, you guys are not watching the game. Trent is completely different role now. He has no link up with Mohamed. Mohamed Salah is playing his own game on the right side. Trent is inverting, he's doing his own thing. Talk tomorrow, no, but I'm missing my what is it? Oh, Tom here. Thank you, Tom. He's saying talk tomorrow, Mo. Yeah, I have Tom and Nobbins in the morning. The 2-1. It's gonna be like who got it worse. But I'm missing my Ermau Jota. Yeah, Jota would have made a big difference today. All I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, the question I've got to ask is, because this is something I believe at the start of the season, do you feel there's a problem with Liverpool signing 3 new midfielders and not keeping at least one of the old guard behind? And I know that Liverpool fans had this idea that Henderson needed to go because his legs were gone, but it just kind of feels like there was a big change in the engine room of Liverpool, which traditionally was what drove you forward towards like the title in the Champions League. And now you've got 3 new players who now have to sort of carry the team. And obviously the only player from the sort of old regime you'd say was someone like Curtis Jones, who seems to be mostly injured or doesn't seem to get a game. So do you think there's an issue there in terms of that you've now got 3 new midfielders and you're expecting them to do what the older guys were able to do, even though the older guys were probably not as talented as these guys are?
I don't think so. But what I do have a problem with is not replacing them at the very least like for like. Like we had a defensive midfielder in Fabinho, and we haven't replaced that position. That is a critical position in our first team. And We let him go, which is fine. I don't have a problem with necessarily letting Firmino go. We don't know. Last season he was poor, right? We don't know whether that was start of a trend of him getting poorer and poorer, or whether that was going to be his level. So if they see him every day and they deemed the money to be worth it, fine, that's okay. But it's negligent not to replace a player in that position. I don't understand why they thought Caicedo. They're willing to put the money down for Caicedo, but there must be somebody else. One of the things we've lauded as Liverpool fans over the last few years is how well we've scouted. Over the last 8-10 years or whatever, it's something that a lot of people have praised us for. And I'm sorry, but you let Fabinho go for 40 million, you need to replace that player, because that isn't McAllister, that isn't Szoboszlai. Unfortunately, I don't think it's Trent either. It's negligent.
Can I before you go? I'm sorry, Naji has to go. Last thing, Naji, I saw your tweet the other day about backing your manager until 4 years. I don't know if you meant it or you were trolling.
Never trolled in my life. You know me long enough, man. I'm disappointed that you think I troll like that, bro.
Because you literally said I'm backing Ten Hag for the 4 years.
No, if you wanted to say literally, go pull up the tweet. What does it actually say?
Dude, I think if there's one ETH
let me
supporter,
actually check it.
And for anyone watching, this is how you should challenge me, yeah? Because I don't make loose statements, so make sure you come correct.
Is there a caveat in there somewhere?
There is a caveat. Maybe I did it exactly. He has a caveat in there.
Mo, you're a judge, man. Mo, you're supposed to be legally. Mo, you're supposed to be legally trained, and you're coming up. You didn't even realize this. You call yourself Joe, judge.
Mad.
I'm trying.
I haven't tweeted much. I've only just come off my fast, so I've had about 5 tweets since then. So
did they say something that triggered you? If so, how is factual statement? That's not it.
That's the one, yeah.
He may not be the right man, but I will back my manager for 4 seasons and let him fall and keep getting back up. Only good structure. I will accept early second culture.
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
So what's the
only
issue?
good football structure will I accept early second culture?
Correct. Okay. So what's wrong with that?
I'm not understanding.
You see how quiet you go.
I'm not understanding.
I think he's trying to say.
I'm not understanding why he said at the end.
I think he's trying to say unless if a good footballing structure comes in upstairs, then they sack Ten Hag. That's when he'll back it. If it's someone else making the decision, like the Glazers, he won't back Ten Hag getting sacked.
So, given the fact that I've got to go, but I'm here, I'm the one who made the tweet. I will continue to say this. I'm not about early sacking culture. I will never do that until we get a football structure that I know I can back and support, knowing that they're making a decision. So, respectfully, I'm happy to see out a process with any manager for 4 seasons, because I'm sick of sacking manager after manager, because my end goal, personally, for me, Mo, is I want to see Man United dominate again. And dominating clubs can only dominate if they have genuine football structure. You won't find a football structure out there that, again, has been able to dominate at the top of their league without one. So the only way I can look at us getting one, if it's not going to come from the board, is from any manager. So we have to build the club and the manager's identity to build a identity. And it's going to take at least 4 seasons to get that. So I'm happy to ride the wave until that happens, unless we get football structure in and they say, no, this is our identity. This is how I want to play football. I don't want Ten Hag as the manager. No problem. Then I know no player power is going to happen, because I know they've got an identity and they'll get rid no matter what. They're not going to hold on to players because of commercial assets. And I'm going to be sitting there going, okay, I can ride with this. People don't understand. This is why I say, if you're going to challenge me, I'm happy.
I'm not challenging you. I was literally trying to ask the question if you were because I didn't understand the last part, but I really thought that you were trolling when you said you would back the manager for 4 years, fall and get back up.
Yeah, any manager for 4 seasons until there's football structure in there that I can trust, that will actually allow us to build a structure so we can go and dominate again. Some Man United fans don't want to do the Chelsea thing where they may get a Leicester Premier League in their lifetime and then maybe get an FA Cup or a League Cup. I'm cool with that, but it's based around the ideology that I want Man United back to where I saw them as a child, when I had to enjoy. And in order to get that, you need a structure. And considering we don't have a football structure that is football paralyzed, I've got to look at it and go, where am I going to get that from? And sadly, the only place I'm going to get that is from the manager, and he's going to have to take 4 seasons to do that with any manager. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to get that from, and sadly, the only place I'm going to get that is from the manager.
That's my phone.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, recording, yeah, that's mad.
Mad.
Those receipts, huh? You're keeping those receipts.
No, it's just
listen,
I
just
wanted
when-
to raise a
my
question
absolute pleasure.
because I wanted to thank you. I know Naji, you have to go. Thank you, Naji. We still have Michael here still, and I wanted to ask
All right,
Mike a
Kings.
question, guys. We still have 600 people here, so hit that like button for us people. At least you're here, so at least hit that like button for us people. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps us massively, to be honest. I wanted to ask you, Mike, because Staffy just tagged me with a 6-minute clip of Kobbie Mainoo, and I wanted to saying that Mo said on the hour, literally, okay, on the hour, here is what I said on the hour. I said Man United midfield today were absolutely horrible. Amrabat and McTominay was playing as a 10. Amrabat couldn't connect passes. I said Kobbie Mainoo, it's either we treat him as an 18 years old or we treat him as an adult, established player, like what you guys tried to tell us, that he's good enough to lead Man United midfield and he's the Messiah, and we treat him like that. If we treat him like that, in my opinion, Kobbie Mainoo was outrun physically today in the midfield. That's why he had 2 late tackles. That's why he connected only, if I'm not mistaken, he connected 20 passes or something, which is not his fault. I think Kobbie Mainoo is very talented. Every time I'm watching him, he's very composed. He plays ahead of his age and everything. But do you think that Kobbie Mainoo is the guy to carry your midfield? An 18 years old, the mighty Manchester United, is he the guy to carry your midfield going forward?
My opinion, I do think he has that potential and that capability to do it. Maybe it won't happen this year.
Sure. Potential is different.
Okay. You talking about this season?
Potential is different.
Talking about this season,
yes, I know that Kobbie Mainoo, he looks amazing. He will be great. We know that. Like Trent when he showed up. But is he now ready to carry that Man United midfield?
I think he could. I think he has a capability right now, especially because I saw him in preseason. He was the best midfielder for us in preseason, that's for sure. On that Everton game, he was the best midfielder on the pitch by far. I thought today, out of our 3 midfielders, she was the best one. I do agree that there were some issues today. I do think the physical level. I think Gravenberch, for example, when Gravenberch was on the pitch, he showed that he's much more physically developed at this stage of his career, which is fair enough.
What I said.
I do agree. I think Mainoo, obviously, he's a couple years younger than Gravenberch, so he's gonna have to. And that physical development will come as age goes by. He's gonna muscle up,
speed as well in the midfield, positioning. Because if you're not quick, you position yourself in a better place in the midfield.
But I think with me was like today, it was like.
He was your best midfielder, of course.
I think for me right now, I'm like, obviously our midfield is so imbalanced that I don't think that our midfield will always look good, and he's gonna have games where he just looks bad. But today for me was I wanted to see at Anfield today. I wanted to see how he would handle the pressure, and if he could give me moments where I'm like, that's him. And today for me, that pass to Garnacho, that's one of the moments. That nice little flick that he did that he earned the foul to take away the sting of the game. That's another one. He had a couple of nice other touches, a couple of nice other passes. Obviously, he, like you said, only completed 20 passes. Onana completed the most passes for us today at 30. That was the most completed passes we had from a player today. So obviously possession. And for me, I think this kind of footballing style at Ten Hag today, you can't have Mainoo in that on a long-term basis this season because he's a possession-based player, in my opinion. That's the way he grew up in Carrington. That's the football education, because in the academy we played possession style football, and he was always in the first phase. He was the base. He was the glue. He's the one that dictated everything. And for me, that's what I want for him at long-term at Man United. And this season, I think he could be. I think right now, for me, honestly, if I'm looking at it, for me right now, he's our most mature midfielder. He might not be the best yet because obviously he's still 18, and he might even be the best. But for me right now, he's the only one that I think is mature enough and doesn't like get rattled in the game. Like Casemiro is a world-class player, and he has an all-time career. But I can't trust Casemiro to always be mature in the game because there's going to be a moment where he just starts blasting the ball up and down the pitch for no reason as a DM. Bruno Fernandes, maturity is the opposite end of the spectrum with Bruno Fernandes. That's the last thing you could call Bruno, is mature on the pitch. McTominay, he's not even a midfielder. I don't know what he is, but midfielder is certainly not it. Because today, McTominay, I thought he was good in the second half, but he couldn't trap a ball to save his life today. Like every single time he had to try to trap a ball, it always bounced off his knee. Amrabat was so stiff today. Like every single action that Amrabat tried to do today was so slow. So I think what Mainoo is, I know why, because me and Staffy gassed him up. I've gassed him up a lot. I said my season starts when Kobbie Mainoo comes into this team. That's how much belief I had in him. I'm like, I need him to be a mainstay in this midfield. When Casemiro comes back, right, and Lissandro, when we have our full team back in early January, Kobbie Mainoo must be a starter. He's one of the first names I'm putting in the team sheet. I don't care. He must be in the team sheet.
Wallah, it's nuts that you guys are talking like this. It's nuts.
Bro, I don't get why I'm talking like this because PSG have a kid, 17-year-old Warren Zaire.
He doesn't play in the Premier League.
I don't. So what? He went into the Champions League and he dominated big European teams. I've seen Lewis Miley go. I'm seeing Lewis Miley playing Newcastle's midfield every single week now.
Yeah, the problem, there's a massive difference. So Lewis Miley, the pressure is not on Lewis Miley to carry the team. It's Bruno Guimaraes, Joao Linton, Wilson, Isak, Kieran Trippier.
The pressure won't be on Miley to carry the team.
You guys are asking Kobbie Mainoo to carry your midfield.
There's only one player.
I'm asking him to be in the midfield and be the best player. Bruno Fernandes, the pressure will always be on Bruno Fernandes. He's the captain of the football club.
There's only one player.
Asking to be in the midfield and asking to be your best player are two different things, right?
Yeah.
The kid's 17. He could be in the midfield and be good and make a contribution and help the way you play. You're asking him also to be the best player.
No, I have the belief that he could be the best player.
I don't know. Man United fans want us to sit here and agree with them that Kobbie Mainoo should be their best player, where they have Casemiro, Amrabat, Bruno Fernandes, McTominay, and they want to tell us that this is the way we want to go forward.
No, I have the belief that he could be the best player. That's my belief.
Can I ask a question?
I believe he could be the best player.
Can I ask a question? So there's only one player that I could think of in recent history that as a midfielder came in as a young person and actually became the best player and carried the midfield, and that's Fabregas. Are you saying he's at the same level as what Fabregas was?
He's not at the same level as young Fabregas.
So because that is kind of what you will need from Mainoo to do what you want him to do.
No, but you know what the thing is? Our levels are so bad that Mainoo could automatically become the best player just by being the most consistent.
Even what Olu said,
this team is shit.
By the way, just hold on. What Olu said actually isn't true. Fabregas, when he came, the team had not only winners, had
actually, you know what a better thing is? Pedri. I think Pedri's a better name.
Leaders in every national, had captains of national teams that won World Cups, bro.
Yeah, Jabot sit next to him.
Fabregas had people around him to tell him, "You can do your thing. We got you, bro." No one asked Fabregas to be the best player on the pitch.
I think Man United fans. I think
he had Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Gilberto Silva.
It won't take much for Mainoo to be the best player on the pitch for us because our team is shit.
He is very talented. He is very talented. But the point is, the way you guys talk about him, I think is wrong.
Mo, do you know what it is though? They're clutching at straws right now. I'm not even a disrespectful way to Man United. We've been there at Arsenal, clutching onto Saka, probably overhyping Saka back in the day to what he actually was at the time, because we needed that bit of something, because really our team was giving us fuck all else. Yeah, and I think that's where Man United is. Yes, he's a great player, prospect, but there's no way you cannot compare him anywhere near someone like Declan Rice for carrying the midfield. And so you're not going to win the league, you know, with him in the team. If he's your best midfielder currently in your team, you're not getting top four.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, well, our team is shit. That's why I say he could be our best player this year, because I don't rate none of these guys at this point. Bro, Rashford's not doing anything for me. Bruno Fernandes we were better without him today. He got suspended, and we actually looked like a decent shape in midfield. God forbid who knows on the right wing. Our defense, our best defender has been out of the team for the last month because our coach doesn't want to play him. So Kobbie Mainoo, by default, he could be the best player in the team because none of these guys are that good. I said with Kobbie Mainoo, I said this club in the summer must get him the proper midfield partners to help him succeed, because we cannot end up having another Pogba situation where we have a talented midfielder and we fail him by not building around him.
I actually think Kobbie Mainoo shouldn't play in the first team.
Why should he not play in the midfield? Who should play instead of him?
Okay, hold on. That's the difference. 18 years old, you're gonna hinder his development if you put him in a loser team like this. If you make Bruno Fernandes his captain, if you make McTominay ahead of him, I'm sorry, people. This is reality, right? One of the worst decisions that Man United made in the recent history is making Bruno Fernandes captain. If you're Kobbie Mainoo and you have Bruno Fernandes around you as your captain, I think because I rate Kobbie Mainoo, because in the summer when I was watching him, I rated his talent because I think he's a very talented footballer. I think someone saying Man United should say this is not the right time to play Kobbie Mainoo and put that pressure on him in this shit Man United team. The attitude is shit. I'm sorry, Michael. The attitude is shit. The club is in disarray. You don't know if Erik ten Hag is staying or leaving. You don't know who's going to be the sporting director. I think to protect Kobbie Mainoo, which is one of your gems, You should not play him in this team.
But Mo,
I
couldn't
think
you
I'm
argue?
gonna be real. I
Couldn't
think
you
that's
argue?
awful.
But couldn't you argue that
Watch.
if United, but wait, if United are in a position, where they feel like they have to play Kobbie Mainoo, I don't think there's any pressure on him. I think they're in a spot where it's just like, anyway, it is what it is. I know you're putting this pressure because it's Man United, but if they're in a position where they have to play Kobbie Mainoo, and it's like, this is our guy, this is the guy in midfield, there's no pressure on him at that point. It is what it is.
If you believe so, yes. If you believe that there is no pressure on him, but I believe that Man United still have pressure on him.
The fans will create pressure for him. The fans will create pressure. That's the problem. Fans will hype him up to the
Michael
point
here already putting pressure on him. I want him to be the best player on the pitch. He's already doing it.
I said I think he has the capabilities of being the best player on the pitch because I rate him that highly. I'm not saying he must be. I expect my captain to be the best midfielder on the pitch because he's the captain of the football club. That's what I expect. I expect Marcus Rashford, who's earning $350K a week, to start scoring me some goals. I expect my £70 million striker to finally score a goal by Christmas. That's what I expect.
So you just said a name. You just said a name, Marcus Rashford. That's another example of someone who the weight of Man United was put on his back as a young player, right? Because he broke through and he scored us in his debuts, and then he started playing more and more and more. The reality is this: there's 75,000, people.
That's just not true. He didn't play that much under Jose.
No, I'm saying though, but the weight was put onto his back eventually, right? Yeah. After a while, he became the talisman of Man United, right? Or one of the talisman of Man United. There's 75,000 people, 77,000 people, right? The reality is, no matter how young you are, if United are losing games, eventually the fans will get onto Mainoo's back if he's not performing what they want to perform. So this whole idea where people think that, like, you know, if you play kids, like the fans will just accept it. They'll accept it in the beginning, yes. But eventually that pressure will happen. We had Danielson, I remember, when he broke through Arsenal. And at first, we really enjoyed Danielson because he was a young player. We said, okay, maybe we could develop him. And eventually, he started playing badly. And he actually fell into depression because Arsenal was so bad, the pressure on him. And he said that he had to leave the country and he had to go out to Brazil because the pressure was so much on him. So
yeah,
it's difficult.
The thing I'm making United, bro, it's in our DNA to play. These kind of players, we cannot have them sitting on the bench because the club is in disarray. Bro, the club was in this range 15-16. Marcus Rashford got thrown in after an injury crisis, and he started bagging goals. And then the next season, Jose left him on the bench, and we stagnated his development ever since then. If Kobbie Mainoo, bro, there's not going to be that much pressure on him because there's bigger players in this club that the fans will always be focusing on. Marcus Rashford is the one that holds the biggest burden on this football club. He's man born and bred, yet every single person boos him. Højlund doesn't have a goal by December, and I still back him, and he's not even getting that much.
Well, put it this way.
Fans. Bro, every time Højlund gets substituted off, the crowd boo Ten Hag. And he has 0 goals this season in the Prem, but no one's putting the pressure on him yet. And he was a £70 million signing. Mine is an academy kid. And the Man United, it's always been this. If you're old enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough. If he's going to be good, he's going to be good. We did the same thing with number 11. We cried to play him. And Ole kept waiting to play him because he kept putting Daniel James. And then number 11 came on the pitch after lockdown, and he started bagging goals. And we had to wait 6 months for that. Why should I have to wait 6 months to watch Kobbie Mainoo? Because Bruno Fernandes can't pass the ball. Because Scott McTominay can't trap a ball. Because Onana lets the ball go in the back of the net. Why should I have to wait for that? If I believe that he's good enough, then he should play. He doesn't have that kind of pressure. He should play, bro. Let me see. The best thing for his development is not to sit on the bench and watch these guys be bums and him thinking, I'm better than these guys. I should be on the pitch. Let him go on the pitch and prove it why he's the best player.
You're right.
Griggs, you need to move to Carrington, man. You need to move to Carrington. You're the biggest proponent of Carrington.
Bro, I've been saying this. The only way this club will get saved is by Luck Carrington, bro. There's a reason why we have the most account. The whole league.
Did you just call it La Carrington, like La Masia?
Bro,
my
Everton Burnley yesterday. Guess who the 2 goal scorers came from? Luck Carrington, bro.
You've had Januzaj, you've had Makeda. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't disrespect I saw that shit on Friday. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't disrespect my junction with Makeda, bro.
United have done this too many times. So, like, there's too many examples of you guys getting young players, putting pressure on their back and saying, well, the next best thing is sliced bread. They have to carry the whole club. And you're talking an institution.
Mine's not going to have to carry the whole club. No, he's never going to have to do that. No midfielder has to carry the whole club.
Okay.
The expectation always going forward. You know, the real franchise player at this football club is Marcus Rashford. He has to carry this club. Mainoo's just going to go in,
but he isn't. But you guys are asking for Kobbie Mainoo to carry the club.
I expect Kobbie Mainoo to eventually be the star of this franchise, of this club.
Exactly.
Eventually.
He's literally doing it. But when that's the problem.
Bro, when
Nah,
I think
but-
of
He isn't one of the guys. You guys are not treating Kobbie Mainoo as one of the academy players that he's developing. You guys are treating Kobbie Mainoo as, listen, kid, you got to be the superstar.
bro, because he's been like that his whole career.
But
youth
to be
career.
fair,
This is the
Yeah,
kid
I
that was
didn't hear about the guy until the summer, bro. I never heard
That's
about the
your
guy.
fault.
No,
I've
but
been watching him for
one
3
thing
years
I'll
now.
say.
Why it's my
One thing I'll
fault?
say. No, one thing I'll say though. One thing I'll say for them. If
I
they
don't
think
watch.
he's the
Why
guy,
am
no,
I? For me as a content creator or as a
No,
football
but
fan,
I'm just saying,
am I okay? Am I required to watch Liverpool youth
No, but I'm
team
just,
play
we may
football?
not have heard about him for the last.
Is that a new thing now? Is that a new
Rick,
thing?
all I'd say is on it. Look, if Mainoo's that guy, and they think that Mainoo's this guy's going to take them there, the only way he's going to be able to go and prove it is if he's got the minerals, the mentality to say, you know what, I'm going to be that guy. Clearly, Rashford doesn't have the mentality to go and do that. Some youth players do, some youth players don't. Like, do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. When Gerrard was coming through, Gerrard was in a terrible team, was able to go and do it. Now, if you're saying Mainoo's going to be the star of that Man United franchise, then let's just hope for your sake, let's just hope he does it, and that's it.
I've watched that kid for 3 years now. I did a bunch of articles. This kid, every single time, he kept skipping phases. He was part of the biggest in the FA Youth Cup a couple of years ago. He won that tournament. He was the best player on that team. And this preseason,
is he?
I hear that, and I'm not disagreeing with you.
I think Pedri's
that happens a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, if you went
think
through,
he's not Pedri's level. Sorry, Jerry, go ahead.
now I said if you went through like I don't know the Chelsea academy list from like the last decade, there's a lot of players that have won everything. Tammy Abraham.
No, I know that.
The amount of goals in But what I'm saying is, if he's that guy, like Saka's a great example. Saka came in, they put all the pressure on him, and he's delivering it. Like he's their star boy. He's the guy for them for Arsenal. If you think Mainoo's that guy, then let him be that guy. He can only prove it if he plays games. This idea, Mo, of him sitting back, not being in this team, that just hinders him. Like if he's that guy, this is his opportunity.
I think it's the other way around. But
if anything, that's his opportunity.
No, because you know why? You know why? Go
ahead.
Because on Friday there were a bunch of people tweeting, especially Liverpool fans. I don't know why they were tweeting this. They said, "Don't play Mainoo at Anfield. This could ruin his career." Test was passed today. The test was passed at Goodison a couple weeks ago when we went into Goodison, and people said, "Don't play him. This is a hostile atmosphere." They just got points deducted. Everything's going to be so rowdy. Best player on the pitch.
I have
Newcastle
to
away.
Kobbie Mainoo, because to be honest, he's an 18 years old. He shouldn't be taking that long time from the show. Queen Nadra saying Pajetic is clear of Kobbie Mainoo. I have seen Pajetic like sometimes, not yet, to be honest, not at all. Omar Rushdie is saying Liverpool panel. He's talking to Rack and Jerry. How would you tackle West Ham? Go before Arsenal, especially in the midfield. Is that? Hold on.
How did you even read that?
No, so we're playing in the Carabao. We're playing in the Carabao.
You're playing in the Cup, though.
Carabao Cup. Yeah, Carabao Cup on Wednesday, and then we're playing Arsenal on. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, Arsenal. Yeah.
Saturday. So that's what he's asking.
How are you guys confident against Arsenal at home now? Are you guys confident at all against Arsenal?
I'm always confident against Arsenal.
What?
Especially Anfield. But that's not to disrespect them, because they've got, this is not the same Arsenal of 2-3 years ago. But even when Arsenal was strong last season, they played well for the first 20 minutes, half an hour. And then after that, we pretty much dominated the rest of that game. And I think we're capable of that again. But things have to kind of go right for us. We need to play properly, not like we played today. If we play like we played today, then
we lose,
I think the best we can get is best we can get is a draw, or more likely lose. Yeah.
Who's favorite in that game? Arsenal people.
I think you're gonna go Liverpool because it's at Anfield. You've always got to go Liverpool at Anfield. But like, I'm gonna be real. I just don't know if we turn up and perform the way we know we can. I actually don't think it will be as hard as people think it will be for Arsenal if we put our chances away. I know that might sound mad, but the midfield we currently have, the way they're playing, Havertz gets into your midfield the way he's currently playing. That's the maddest thing. And that's mad because I didn't want Havertz. Havertz currently gets into your midfield after how he's been playing the past 4 games. Honestly. So for me, I think that if we play the way we can play with Declan Rice and Odegaard today, a couple of times with the goals, he should have scored. But everything else in this game was perfect.
Hold on, you're serious. You're not trolling. You're serious.
No, I'm not trolling on current form.
Right.
On current form. I know you think that's mad.
I was thinking the joke is coming, you know, like I'm waiting for the joke.
So do you not
know
think
what I
in the
mean?
past, no, so you don't think in the past?
No,
I'm not even saying he's a better player.
I have to tell you, the reality is Kai Havertz today wasn't great. He was an okay player on the pitch.
Yes,
Just
but
an
once
okay
again,
player. Hold on.
Go on.
Hold on. He was an okay player. The goal he scored, actually, good movement. He tried to dink it and he missed it and it went underneath the keeper. You know that, right? Okay. This is a fact. Go check the goal. All right.
I've watched the goal, but I don't.
Go watch the goal. The commentator said it because in the beginning I'm like, you're trying to dink the ball. Okay. Kai Havertz is not good enough. The problem is the league isn't good enough. You guys played today. Declan Rice was ridiculous today. To be honest. Right? Odegaard played very well today. Yes, he didn't put the couple of chances away, but he was ridiculously good today. Right? My opinion. Right? William Saliba made defending look so easy again. Right? Kai Havertz is a guy that is his job on the pitch to support Gabriel Jesus or switch the position with Gabriel Jesus. He wasn't great. Kai Havertz scoring today, in my opinion, if I'm going to choose a player to change in the game, it's Kai Havertz. And that's not an agenda, by the way, because he scored a goal. He isn't part of the midfield. Are you telling me Kai Havertz is part of your midfield? Well, Odegaard is dropping. Odegaard, your number 10, is dropping so deep to get the ball and play next to Declan Rice. Give me a break.
Mo,
was great. People in the chat are telling me the Kai Havertz is great.
Mo, can I wait? Sorry.
One sec. You're mistaken what I'm saying, though, Mo. I'm not saying that Declan Rice definitely is, but Kai Havertz, I'm not saying he's the best player and he's better than all three of Liverpool's midfielders. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying currently, in the past 4 games, he's done more than Szoboszlai. He's done more than McAllister. Currently on form, he gets into their midfield. And I'm saying that as a crazy thing. I'm saying that as more of
Jerry answer this. I'm hearing, in my opinion, I'm hearing madness. You tell me that Kai Havertz can get into this energetic Liverpool midfield. They had a bad game today. You're telling me that Kai Havertz, the guy that moves with a slow motion on the pitch, that passes in a slow motion on the pitch, will get into Liverpool's midfield because he scored a goal or 2. Are you guys serious?
Mo,
I heard it all.
So Mo, so you said something which is interesting because you said something about Odegaard dropping deep, and this is what's really interesting for me because
it's a compensation for Kai Havertz, my friend.
No, I don't think it is. The reason why I said that. So the reason why I said that is this: if you go and watch Arsenal last year, actually, Jack had played further up the pitch, and it was actually Odegaard who was dropping deep to pick up the ball. So in a way, actually, this season it was the other way around. At the start of the season, Odegaard was playing high up the field. So a lot of Arsenal fans were saying Odegaard wasn't on the ball. He wasn't getting involved in the game as much as he is now. I think Arteta reverted back to partially some of the tactics that you did last year. And you said something that's quite interesting as well about Havertz. The fact that anytime we go long, he's the highest player up the pitch because of his height. So he's the one that's winning the balls, and Jesus is actually feeding off that. So in a way, it almost turns to a 4-4-2, then draws back to the 4-3-3. So I think in the end, I don't think he wants him to be spectacular and be one controlling the game. I think he's using Havertz for a specific reason. So, and what you're starting to see is that it's starting to flow through better because obviously the more you play together, the more you build those connections. So I think you'll see Jesus is starting to play a little bit better now, and the connections are getting better with Havertz in terms of what the plan is. So I think it's wrong to say that Odegaard has to do that. I think he's just doing what he was doing last season. I think Arteta's just pivoted away from what he started at the start of the season, and this is one thing that I will give Arteta credit for, which is something that I give Pep the greatest credit for. Do you learn from your mistakes? Do you adapt, or do you just go one way? So when everyone was saying Arsenal not playing well this season, I was for me I was just like, maybe he's just learning from what happened last year, and he's trying to find different ways of doing things. And I think especially against Brighton in a game where, I spoke to you more last year about it, and Brighton are a heavy possession based team. They want to control the ball as more than you, and De Zerbi's tactics are sometimes can be just crazy in terms of trying to
I thought you made
understand.
them look very average, and I said
Exactly.
that other way. In my
Exactly.
yesterday, for the people that are watching us, there's 600 people, and I'm sure some of you were watching me yesterday and on Thursday and on the Lahwa when I said Arsenal will make Brighton look so average and Arsenal will smash Brighton. And people said I'm crazy. And I said Arsenal at home against Brighton. I'm going to tell you one stat, and I want Mike, Rack, and Jerry to realize this. If one of your midfielder touches the ball less than anyone else, including the forwards, would that be good? Touches the ball less than anyone, even your striker.
No.
It's impossible.
Midfield,
right?
you should have more opportunities to get on the ball because just
Declan Rice today had less touches than Saka, I think Martinelli, if I'm not mistaken, Rice, Odegaard, what's his name? The other Jesus.
You mean Havertz, right?
Havertz had less touches than everyone else. How many minutes did he play at the end?
The whole game. Yeah,
he played the whole
No,
game.
he didn't. He played 90 minutes. So Kai Havertz, as a midfielder, would you guys tell me he's going to get into Liverpool's midfield? Had less touches than everyone else on the pitch in a team that is dominating position. So his point, I get what you're saying, Olo. His point is he's used in duels. Well, he was involved in 2 duels today. He scored a goal, brilliant. So he's used for long balls. He's used as a decoy then. That's the point.
And his movement.
Yes,
and his
he scored
movement
the goal. His movement.
And his
By the way,
movement is
I know
creates
one
more
thing.
space.
When you're good in movement, you receive the ball more. But anyway, I'm wrong.
No, not
wrong.
necessarily.
I'm
Not
wrong.
necessarily, because
You guys are right
can
because he scored the goal. That's the thing at the end. Because he scored the goal, I'm wrong. That's
no,
it.
it's not that. It's not that. Sometimes you also
I
have
think
players
it's
who
as
move.
simple as that. When
Sometimes
Havertz scores a goal, 60 million down the drain, Havertz scored the goal, so we're all.
No.
Yeah, but
See,
sometimes
but
Anyway,
also-
listen.
But sometimes your movement works in different ways, in the sense of like last week, Havertz's movement gets us the goal, Jesus' header, because he brings 2 players to the front post, which leaves all the space for Jesus to score a header.
All right then. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's a good in movement. I get you guys this. I'm just still don't see what does he offer different than if I get somebody else. Like he's
I'm not, listen, Mo, I'm not saying that, by the way. I think that he's at best a squad player for Arsenal Football Club. Like at best. That's
but when I say that, I have an agenda against Havertz. Anyway.
No, I think you're right for that. I'm not saying that. I was just trying to use it as a point.
But you just said that he gets into Liverpool's midfield. So how was his squad player?
No. I'm saying current form.
Gets into Liverpool Football Club.
Current form, I'm saying.
Right,
I don't think their midfield. I don't think their Liverpool have been as good as people have made out this season or even the last few weeks. I think that everyone keeps wanting to say Arsenal haven't been that great this season. Arsenal ain't been, and acting like Liverpool have been this superior team.
Nobody said that. We said they're the most consistent.
No one here. No, I'm not saying no one here, but I mean just the world and pundits and whatever. And that's the difference. That I think that Liverpool are being applauded more than they should be. They've not been better than Arsenal. They've not been that much better than Man City this season. I don't think, but performance-wise, I think they've had games. I think early in the season, the way they started was quality. But I think that they've faded the last few weeks. If they don't get, once again, I'm saying from watching the game, if Ayew don't get red carded, Liverpool don't win that game. You never know, but I don't think Liverpool win that game.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think today they want to say they dominated the game and that. Well, you didn't score the goal that was needed to win the game. So at the end of the day, you can dominate. And as an Arsenal fan,
you're top
I
of the
see
table
it all the time.
At the end, you're top of the table, and I think Arsenal are.
You know what?
I think the Arsenal have more chances for Liverpool.
One. You know what the craziest thing about this season is, right? Before Liverpool and Arsenal play next week, Aston Villa will probably be top of the Premier League.
Fantastic, then. Let's all cheer for
Incredible.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa have been absolutely crazy.
They'll lose next week. Don't worry about that.
Listen, people. Arsenal top of the league. Liverpool drew unexpectedly with Man United. Man United heroics. Man United fans say it's heroics. They defended really, really well, in my opinion, even though they allowed Liverpool to have that many shots. But anyway, to be honest, at the end, it was one of the lowest quality games I've watched this season. One of the lowest quality. And I still think that Liverpool are the most consistent team in the league. Arsenal, at the end, I think they have the team to go and win the league. And I said that they're playing controlled football. And that's about it. Arsenal play controlled football. Today, they made Brighton look so average. Not a lot of teams make Brighton look so average. So it's a credit to Arteta and the team, in my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Rack, appreciate you being here. Jerry, of course, we'll see you Tuesday. Of course, Jerry James' show is in the description. Giuseppe from Unbiased Sport, even though he's biased a little bit towards Arsenal, is in the description. Michael Griggs with his channel is in the description. Absolutely enjoyed that, Michael. You kind of battled all of us, and it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. And Olo here, and of course, Naji was here before. Thank you for everybody that is watching us. Hit that like button before you go. We still have about 600 people here, so we should be at least on 300 likes. Hit that like button, people. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I have Nobbins and Tom. It's a mid-off stream. So it's fantastic. We'll see you guys, and we're out of here. And stay on the stream. Stay. Yes, stay on the stream and take it to Staffy TV when he does his roundup. Stay on the stream. Stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere. It will take you to Staffy Entertainment. Doesn't go anywhere. Stay.
Kai Muller.
We're out.
Kai Muller.